for a war crime. I said it's time for a war crime.
It's homecoming season, and that means that more than 100 black institutions will be giving the sights and sounds of black excellence. This time of year, alum return to their alma maters to relive the best days of their lives, and nobody does it quite like a HBCU. But at theGrio, this homecoming season means that we're going to do more than just celebrate black culture. We are calling on black students and educators to come home, to return to the institutions that were created for us, by us.
Breaking news from the Supreme Court. The court has just issued a landmark ruling on affirmative action, officially ending the practice in college admissions processes.
Affirmative action no longer exists, and we are not about to beg for a spot at the PWI. We want the best and the brightest to keep going to HBCUs just like they always have. And together, by amplifying black institutions, we can start an HBCU homecoming movement. Thanks for staying with us tonight on theGrio. I am Mark Lamont Hill. We're back again with special coverage of HBCUs and homecoming season. And tonight and every Friday night during this time, we're going to be amplifying black institutions and campus culture. My first order of business is to give a shout out to the Tones of Melanin for this Elizabeth City State University sweatshirt. I love this thing, yo. Bad news, they just sold out of this item during homecoming, but there's good news coming around the bend, and that is that they will be restocked soon, and they're going to have lots more HBCU gear, and especially ECSU gear on that website. To wear your school pride, all you got to do is head over to tonesofmelanin.com. Tonight, we're taking a trip to Elizabeth City, North Carolina, to this wonderful HBCU that is training the next generation of diverse pilots.
Today, we will formally unveil our branded aircraft and pause to recognize a group of pioneers whose sacrifices made it possible for our students to realize their dreams of being leaders in all aspects of the aviation industry.
Elizabeth City State University is one of 4 HBCUs to offer pilot programs. Founded in 1891, ECSU was the only school in North Carolina to offer a 4-year aviation science and unmanned aircraft degree. The school recently announced a partnership with JetBlue Airlines. The JetBlue Gateway University program offers students a conditional job offer upon graduation as first officer for the airline. That's pretty amazing. Joining me now to talk more about the program is the department chair, Dr. Kevin Kupitz, and Alethea Hudson. She is a professional aeronautical senior at ECSU. She was also invited to the Capitol for the most recent State of the Union address with the president. I want to thank you both for joining me. Welcome to theGrio. Doc, ECSU went from being known as a school for teachers to now also being known as Aviation Central. It's the top major of choice. The school saw a record increase in the program last year, which is also incredible during these times. What do you attribute this growth to?
Well, there's several very unique programs that we have at Elizabeth City State University, including the aviation department. We often say that we're the best kept secret on the East Coast. But with Chancellor Dixon's leadership and others from the leadership team, they've done a really good job of marketing the program, getting out and talking to people, and explaining to our partners, both industrial and academic, that there really is a need to diversify the field. And from there, we've moved in. And like you said, we've had a huge growth. This last semester, we had 105 freshmen come in.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Alethea, you are one of those amazing students that has come through the ranks of the school, now being a senior. You could have gone to a lot of places. What drew you to ECSU?
So what drew me to ECSU, as you know, is an aviation school. It is the only aviation school or university in North Carolina. And it's an HBCU, and it's doing incredible things, not only on the aviation aspect, but with diversity and inclusion for students. I've been able to have many opportunities here since freshman year and now going into my senior year and finishing up. I've been able to network and, definitely talk to people and build on to my resume for my career and future development.
Well, I mean, that is an incredible array of options there. You got aviation, you got HBCU, you got a commitment to developing students of color. I mean, Doc, that's an amazing thing, but still money's not a taken for granted aspect of higher education. It's also not a taken for granted aspect of the aviation world. I mean, most airlines haven't even restored the service cuts that were made during the pandemic. Nearly half of U.S. pilots are expected to retire in the next decade or so. So in a way, there's a crisis, but in a way, there's an opportunity. How does your program make sure that students are going to be job ready so they can fill those spots when the industry actually does open back up?
Yeah, just like a lot of the different job markets in the country right now, there is the shortage of the pilots and basically in the airline industry altogether. And so while we're training the pilots, we also have to remember for that pilot to be able to fly that plane, there's another 12 people behind that pilot that's allowing that pilot to be able to fly. So it's not just about the pilots, but that is a huge aspect. If you look at the FAA website, they're saying in the next 10 years, they need 260,000 new pilots in the system, which is just incredible. So what we've done is we're increasing our infrastructure here, and our student population is growing quicker than our infrastructure in some degrees. So we're pedaling hard to be able to keep up. But we're taking what we call, going into the commercial field, our students call it the Zero to Hero program. So within their 4 years of being here, they come in with no flight education, and they leave here certified flight instructors or multi-engine certified, ready to go to the airlines with what they're called a reduced ATP. So they get to get a fast track into the airline systems. And like you talked about with those partners with JetBlue, Republic, United, Delta, all of those other ones that we have, they're regularly coming and recruiting from our students, not only for our pilots, but for our other majors as well, to join them in the workforce. So we're doing a holistic view on that, trying to be able to help keep the field as full as we can with quality students. And we do have some quality students.
I can tell just from Alethea here, I'm impressed already. Alethea, a lot of people say, okay, well, Elizabeth City is a great academic school, but I heard it's rural. I heard people who go there are country. What do you say to people who say, how is life outside of school?
Okay, so I am from Charlotte, North Carolina. So it is a very different from Elizabeth City to Charlotte. There's plenty to do here, though, in Elizabeth City. If anything, it's taught me how to love a small, quaint town. There's events that go on downtown pretty often and frequently that I know students attend. You have the waterfront, and we're an hour away from the birthplace of aviation, Kitty Hawk. So students always take trips down to the Outer Banks. I know a lot of aviation students visit the Wright Brothers Memorial in Kitty Hawk, and an hour away is Virginia Beach. We're also surrounding other HBCUs and universities. So
okay. See, Alethea, this is why I know that ECSU has raised you right, and your mom and them raised you right. Because I asked about outside of school, and you could have talked about the parties, you could have talked about the fraternities, you could have talked about all the wild stuff that people really want to know about, but you kept it clean, you kept it churched, you talked about Kitty Hawk, you talked about sites and historical monuments. I love that you did that, because that shows people that you can be an ECSU alum, you can have a good time, you'll be well trained, and you'll get a great education. All right, Dr. K, Alethea, thank you so much for joining me today. Alethea, we're rooting for you. You're going to be a star. We can't wait to watch you shine. If you want to learn more about Elizabeth City State University and the programs they have to offer, all you got to do is visit the website at the address on your screen, ecsu.edu. Next up, ECSU wants to take theGrio's HBCU versus crown tonight. They're going to try, but we got some tough competition for them. I don't want you to miss this. It's a drum majors matchup after this quick break. Welcome back to theGrio. It's about that time for theGrio's HBCU versus. So I changed outfits because I have to remain impartial. We're running back the drum majors category this week. And for today's HBCU versus, We got Elizabeth City State University's drum majors who lead the Sound of Class marching band. They're going to go head-to-head with the drum majors of the Purple Marching Machine at Miles College. Okay, the Purple Marching Machine drum majors got some moves. Let's see how they measure up against the Sound of Class from ECSU.
Under the field direction of the General Assistant Drum Majors, Walker X. Baxter Howell and Corey Hotline Simmons, led by head drum major Nathaniel the Pilot Harrell. These are the 2023 edition of ECSU Drum Majors known as the New Era.
I know, we do not play fair. I already know how my senior producer will vote if she could vote, but we won't let her do that because she would be putting the thumb on the scale. We want to hear from you instead. What do you think? Who do you think takes theGrio's HBCU versus Crown for this drum major matchup? If you want to vote, head over to theGrio's Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook page, and you can sound off in the comments with who you think won this HBCU versus. You can also scan the QR code on your screen to upload your video so that you can have a chance to be featured in the next HBCU versus, only on theGrio. College football is back in action this week at HBCUs around the country, and we root for our teams. But we all know the main attraction is still really the band. HBCU goes Nia Simone traveled to Montgomery, Alabama to test her musical talents with those looking to make the Alabama State Marching Band, the Mighty Marching Hornets.
We bring in 100+ freshmen pretty much every year. And when you're bringing these guys in straight from high school, we now have to train them, get them prepared for the Mighty Marching Hornet Band. We have to really break them down. We have to cleanse their body, get them ready. So the running is going to work up their repertory. We fast march 360 steps per minute. That's our fast march. And they have to be able to do that fast marching as well as regular marching, but I still want a maximum sound. And if you think about it, if you were to just come out there and not get in shape and you fast march, now I can't get the sound because you're out of breath. So that's the purpose of the conditioning. They cannot have any fried food, no French fries. We keep them away from bread too, because all that's gonna heavy on the stomach. But all of those things they cannot. They can only do things that is not going to hurt their bodies, because you have to remember, too, they're just getting to this food, and cafeteria food is different than mom and daddy food, you know. So we have to make sure that they'll be able to eat and still get the nutrition and still have the energy to come on to the next practice and be prepared. With the recruiting skills, we go out different places, from Ohio to Florida to Georgia, all a part of Alabama, Mississippi. We go out and actually recruit. Most of the students they come with some scholarship money, and they want to come. So they're going to come regardless, most of them. But we give those funds because it's not much, but we appreciate you being here. Our style is a little different on what we do. We're going to do everything different than everybody else. Left face, right face, about face. We're going to do it differently. And now we've created over the years a sound that's only our sound. We're going to be more exciting this year, more energized. I don't give away my secrets or let the cat out the bag. We have some shows that I think they're going to enjoy, and they're expecting that because the community is behind us now. And they know that if we lose the game, we may lose the game, but we're not going to lose the halftime show.
Alabama State is celebrating their homecoming this weekend against Bethune-Cookman University. No matter who you're rooting for, you are in for a treat at halftime. The GRIO Sister Network, HBCU Go, will have complete coverage of that game this weekend. Kickoff is at 3 p.m. Eastern, and if you want to tune in, all you got to do is check out your local listings or download the free HBCU Go mobile app. You can also visit hbcugo.tv. The GRIO will also be in Alabama this weekend, covering the matchup between Benedict and Miles College. HBCU Go play-by-play analyst James Hadnot has a preview. James, what's your prediction?
Well, greetings, Mark and GRIO fam. I'm expecting a big-time offensive matchup between Benedict and Miles. When you think about the Tigers of Benedict, they average 35 points per game. That leads the SIAC. And Miles is not far behind. They're third in the conference, averaging 34 points per game. So if you're looking for offense, you will be in the right place on Saturday. And when it comes to the series history between Miles and Benedict, the Tigers have won the last 2 matchups. And overall in the regular season, Benedict has been tough to beat. They've won their last 18 regular season games. So Miles will have a really tall task on their hands, but I believe that the Golden Bears will be up for it and really give Benedict a run for their money. I'm James Hadnot with HBCU Go. Mark, back to you.
You can only watch that game right here on the GRIO cable. Kickoff is at 1 p.m. Eastern. You have a front row seat right here, but if you're headed to the game on Saturday, meteorologist Alex Wallace is standing by at the Weather Channel with a look at the forecast. Alex, who's winning weather-wise?
Hey, Mark, I really think everyone is winning when it comes to the football forecast here over the weekend. We're going to start you off here in Fairfield, Alabama. Benedict College, Miles going on here. Kickoff is going to be at noon. Look at this. Beautiful sunshine. Temperature is going to be cool as well. You cannot beat that. Of course, Miles looking to snap a 2-game losing streak to the Tigers. Then we work our way to Montgomery, Alabama. You got Bethune-Cookman, the Wildcats, and Alabama State going at. Again, another picture-perfect time here for us in Montgomery. 70s for the game. The kickoff there right around 2 o'clock here for us. Got a north wind, though. That's about it. But otherwise, I don't think you'll be dealing with much issues there. And really, that's the case across a lot of the Midwest, the South. Sunny conditions, very comfortable out there for us as well. Mid-Atlantic, though, that's where we'll find some showers. Baltimore, and a little cool as we work through the day, so a heads up there. Otherwise, all is looking good for the games across the nation.
Thanks, Alex. Next on the GRIO, why did you choose your HBCU? Hear directly from students and learn of another chance to be featured on the GRIO after this quick break. Welcome back to the GRIO. I want to take a second to shout out Black & Scholar, the Black woman-run company that amplifies HBCUs. They sent over this sweatshirt, and it says, HBCUs are the past, the present, and the future. I love it. You don't have to be a graduate of an HBCU to rock one of these. Also, it's available in black, and they got it for the low. To check this out, head over to blackandscholar.com. We love to see people wearing their HBCU pride. We've been asking you to shout out your HBCU for a chance to be featured on the GRIO, and you responded. So now I'm going to pass the mic to Dr. Andre Key.
Hi, this is Andre Brooks Key, Associate Professor of African American Studies at Claflin University in Orangeburg, South Carolina. I'm a proud graduate of Central State University, class of 1997, and I love my HBCU because it was a family and it taught me so many things that I carried on for the rest of my life. I met so many great people and formed great friendships, including the world-famous marching band Invincible Marching Marauders, which taught me to always perform with pride and do everything with pride for God, for Central, for State.
Now, we want to know why the rest of you love your HBCU. If you want to get in on the fun, scan this QR code on your screen and upload your video. You just might be featured right here on the GRIO with Mark Lamont Hill. Stay with me, my final word after this quick break. All right, family, we have reached the end of the show, but before I let you go, there is a reason why we must amplify Black institutions. College graduates typically make more than people without a college degree, but everybody doesn't benefit from this reality equally. On average, Black women in the U.S. are paid 67 cents for every dollar paid to white, non-Hispanic men. At the same time, Black women are the group most likely to have student loans. According to the Census Bureau, 1 in 4 Black women have student debt. A report released from the Education Trust finds that 10 years after starting college, white men have paid off about 44% of their college debt. Meanwhile, black women owe 13% more than they borrowed. Experts say black women face two hits. There's race and there's gender. Black people are typically paid less for their work, and historically, the value of a woman's labor is undervalued in the workforce even more. So look, it's time we start to honor and value black women more for their contributions. That begins with affordable education, a thing that many HBCU, in fact, all HBCUs relatively provide, but also equal opportunity to do the work that they're more than qualified to do. You can get nonstop HBCU content by visiting theGrio.com/HBCU or by hovering over the Lifestyle tab and selecting HBCU. You can also download the free Grio app to find unlimited content that amplifies black culture. It's available on all mobile devices. I want to thank you for joining me tonight. My name is Mark Lamont Hill. Good night. But first, I'll leave you with a look over the campus of Texas Southern University in Houston. It's now one of the largest historically black institutions in the country, with alum like Meg Thee Stallion, Yolanda Adams, Al Green, and the illustrious Barbara Jordan. Go Tigers!